Frano Botica setting it yet again. He's had plenty of kicks, but only one shot at goal tonight. Salvatore charging onto it. And straight through some paper-thin New Zealand defence. Great run, Craig Salvatore. Now Langas at the base of the ruck calling the shots. He wants it to go left. It does go left, but Bella decides to straighten it up. They are really turning it on for a great crowd here at Lang Park. Now they run the open side to Jackson. Jackson with the little kick. This time it's cleaned up, and the Kiwis are going to be driven back 20 metres by that man, Mark Geyer. He and Willie Kahn combine, and Jackson over the top. Listen to the crowd.
I think they'll make him an honorary Queenslander after this, Wally.
No comment, Wal?
Well, if he's not awarded that privilege tonight, Roy, I don't think he ever will be. He's had a magnificent game of football. He's displayed in the last 2 test matches that he's in Australia's second row for a long time to come.
Well, the Kiwis now really have to throw caution to the wind. Even Todd throwing the long balls. It's popped up out there to Mann. Mann has his centres and he has pace and space now. Here comes Botica, but he goes to Freeman on the inside. Freeman still going inside the Australian quarter line. That's the most enterprising stuff from the Kiwis for a long time. A little knee in the tackle, and it'll be a penalty to the Kiwis. Crowd don't like it, but I think it was a fair decision from Holdsworth. Freeman was struggling to his feet. Let's have a look at it again. Willie Kahn, it was over the top. Now watch, he holds him down, trying to let his defence reorganise itself.
Well, it was more the holding down rather than any action from the knees.
Yes, I don't think the knee would have bruised a grape there, Roy, but it was pretty good work from Willie Kahn. They're just giving his defenders enough time to be able to get back on side. The penalty's been given, but Australia now has a full defensive complement.
Set play from the Kiwis. Freeman across field to Nick Gow, who's held up. But they lost 10 metres there. Friend, he's looking for runners and he finds Mercer. Mercer trying to brush tackles and loads a bad pass to Watson. As I said, it's now caution to the wind stuff for the Kiwis. On the inside was Botica, but Bella was there to wrestle him to the ground. Friend trying to find a hole at the centre of the Australian defensive ruck. It's not there. Freeman, they're working all manner of runarounds here. Brown back to Freeman. Freeman the short ball to Nick Gow, but it was good defence by Peter Jackson. Where are the runners? He finds Watson. The pass couldn't hit Watson. Botica's all alone out here on the wing and nowhere to go. The Freeman on the 5th. Tries to put in the little short one. Wishart takes it well, then cops a high one. Over the top was McCracken. And he's been held down on the tackle. Penalty Australia. The crowd didn't like the high tackle from Jared McCracken. But I feel it may have been more a reflex action, Wally.
Well, I think it was disappointment more than anything else here. He had to try and get something on Wishart to pull him up, but the Kiwis may have been better served there to put a longer kick along the ground, trying to pin Australia in their own end goal and get the ball from the dropout. Australia's defensive effort there, once again, should be complimented. They had players sliding all over the place.
Well, John Harker, we haven't had a chance to talk to you for a few minutes. It's been a furious pace up here, but we see Peter Jackson's head is taped. Are there any problems there?
Yeah, just a few stitches at half times, Pat. There's clear signs of frustration with this Kiwi side, though, but they shouldn't be. It's a bit like the rugby test on Saturday. They're just playing a team that's playing outstanding football. But I can tell you that Gary Mercer is carrying an arm injury and is going to be replaced, and that replacement will be made any moment.
Well, Roy, Bob Fulton was loath after the 44-0 annihilation, as we see Meninga setting sail upfield again to Daly. Daly pops it inside to Jackson. As I said, Roy, Bob Fulton was loath to label this side the team that will take Australian League right through the 90s, but perhaps he may be forced to change that opinion after tonight's performance.
Well, look, the players are just giving him everything that he wanted. It's a disciplined display with marvellous skill. It's athleticism, there's stamina, speed, strength, skill.
Well, some scrappy play, some rare scrappy play from the Aussies, and Eddinghausen is forced to put it high. Botica.
Pretty hard to stick to a disciplined game team plan when you're leading by 22 points. Australia, in that set of 6, even had to resort to kicking the ball backwards to get a kick in, but It's just a real hard job at the moment for the Kiwis to try and break this Australian defensive unit. They just don't seem to be able to make any yardage up the middle.
John Harker, a new face. We see Gary Mercer on the sideline.
Yes, Gary Mercer is off, as I said, and Asini Famela, the man who was in the ring only a few months ago with Jimmy Thunder, is now on. He's wearing the number that in your program belonged to Dean Lonergan.
On in 12. This is Nick Gower on the burst. He has numbers. Pops the high ball. It gives the Australian defence a little time to regroup. Geyer in there hard. The Australians will run it, the Kiwis will run it inside the Australian half. George Mann. We've just been told that that's Kaloto on the field. Played the first 2 tests and relegated to the reserves bench. Back to 6. So here come the Kiwis. They must get a 6-pointer and they must do it very shortly. But they're not going to do it with play like this.
Well, I think he knew where he wanted the man. The man was in the wrong position.
Kaloto was cleaning up. Brent Todd now slows it down and works it up towards the Australian quarter line. There are still 25 minutes left in this game, but the Kiwis are trailing by 22.
Well, we've got basketball.
Let's wait for the ruling.
I think he's ruled that the Kiwis have knocked the ball forward in the air. They're giving Australia the feed into the scrum. Full credit to the Kiwis. They're still trying to throw the ball around. They are the tactics that have worked against Australia in the past. It's just that Australia's defence is far too good.
Jackson trying to break away from Freeman. He does so too. Now where's the support? Well, it all became a bit messy over there. Jackson claiming it came off a Kiwi hand. Nick Gower was there. Jackson pleading with the referee. Bob Fulton in the crowd. He would have a satisfied look on the face now, Wally. He seems to be hiding behind a few people up there. But at 28 points to 6 with 23 minutes to go, I think he knows that the 4X International Trophy is his as Blackmore tries to split them.
Any young man that's just watched this display from Bradley Clyde from the scrum has got to admire it. He's made a great effort to get out of the scrum after the break was made. He's ran about 15 to 20 metres across field and brought off a magnificent cover defending tackle. Gave away a penalty, sure, but in the process stopped a certain Kiwi try.
Well, the cry goes up from the crowd for Australian defence. We haven't had to see a lot of that tonight. Langer was up there very quickly on Brown. And they love that here at Lang Park, the local boy. Man surging towards the quarter line. He's played well. It's off Australian hands. Who's first to it? It was knocked back, and Australia will clean up. That was Bradley Clyde yet again. Walters from dummy half, under a high one from Nick Gower. Wishart looking for some work, and does it pretty well with a little surge 10 metres upfield. Gillespie to Bella. Bella pops it on the inside. And that time it was just too difficult. It was right on the bootstraps of Steve Walters. Knock on.
Martin Bella once again trying to offload. It's very hard to try and tell him not to get it away after about 90% of his offloads have been successful so far.
Friend and Langer, the two smallest men on the field. Langer comes up trumps. Or does he?
Elfie wore an elbow then. Clayton Friend didn't like the way he was put down by Langer, and he wore an elbow right on the beak. I suppose it had hurt. He just had that nose broken for the first time last week.
Crowd don't like the decision, but it's pretty obvious that the penalty is going to go New Zealand's way. Let's have a look at it, Roy.
Yes, well, Walt called it very well. Of course, there goes the left elbow back onto the right side of Alfie's cheek, so he does a little bit of a retaliation, and he's totally entitled to it, particularly in his first test at Lang Park.
So they're working another set play from this tab. Time ticking away for the Kiwis here at Lang Park, and the ball's been popped up again. Willie Kahn will clean it up for Australia. They're up very quick with the New Zealand defence. Penalty 6 apiece. But that certainly isn't the story of this game. We've seen yet another brilliant display from Australia. A team that's willing to do the hard work in the initial stages and then throwing it wide brilliantly after that. Gaia standing looking to unload. He decided to take the tackle this time. There was plenty of attention there for him. Salvatore on the charge. Oh, another great run from the prop. Only made his debut last week. He's playing with all the aplomb of a seasoned veteran as Langer goes for a little run. He's going to regather this. Now he's got supporting Jackson. Jackson has Big Mel out wide. One-handed take on the inside. Try time. No, the referee's called it back. But it looks spectacular.
Wishart still thinks he scored it.
The crowd don't like it. On the fifth tackle, he's ruled, has English referee John Holdsworth, a forward pass.
Langer's sidestep coming into play. He's the master of the chip and chase. Could have chosen any one of about 3 or 4 players to throw it to. Peter Jackson went as far as he could before throwing it. And it was great support play in the background. We just saw the Australian players congratulating each other, but John Holdsworth, well, I think you can call that a sympathy position for the Kiwis.
Now what has happened here, John Harker, while we were watching that replay?
Well, there's been a protest from the Kiwis, and Clayton Friend has just resented what's happened from referee John Holdsworth. But Asini Famalo, the player that I said would be coming on, he did put his gear back on, but now he is taking the field. He'll be going on in place of Peter Brown.
Jackson. The Australians eager for another try. And on all indications, it should come shortly. To Bella. Oh boy, hasn't he answered his critics in the last couple of test matches. Salvatore. 5 metres out the Aussies. Options left and right for them. Set play to Meninga, but the Kiwis were awake to it.
Bella's playing that wonderful role that he has in Queensland for Queensland in the state of origin. 15 hit-ups.
To Gaia. Gaia pops a loose pass. Langer cleans up. That one went astray.
Now that went back. There are a few sympathy decisions coming out at the moment. It certainly looked like the pass from the Australians went backward there and should have been 6 to go. There's the pass from Guy going backwards. It was touched by a Kiwi. 6 to go.